Welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into the top 6 most valuable USA silver Washington quarter dollar that could potentially make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right, these small, humble coins could be worth a fortune in the right condition. So stick around as we unveil these hidden treasures and their jaw-dropping values. First up, the 1980D silver Washington quarter dollar with a large date in dirty condition. Could this humble coin hiding in your change be worth a small fortune at auction? Let's find out. First, let's get one thing clear. The 1980 Washington quarter wasn't struck in silver, but in copper-nickel-clad composition. However, the term silvers is often used by mistake when referring to older-looking coins due to their patina or discoloration, especially in dirty or tarnished condition. So if you've got one of these coins, don't mistake it for pre-1964 silver quarters, which are 90 silver. The 1980 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as shown by the small D mint mark right below the wreath on the reverse side. Over 518 million of these coins were struck at the Denver Mint that year, making it far from rare unless it has unique qualities like errors or exceptional eye appeal. But what about coins in dirty or heavily circulated condition? While these coins often don't fetch high prices, certain collectors still value them, especially if the coin retains all its key details, like the date and mint mark. For an average dirty condition 1980D Washington quarter, you're looking at auction values of about 25 cents to 50 cents, basically its face value. However, if you can spot something special like a double die error, off-center strike, or a rare planchet flaw, then you're in luck. Error coins can sell for $50 to over $200, even in dirty condition. That's why it's important to inspect your coins closely before dismissing. Recent auction data shows that 1980D Washington quarters with significant errors can sell for hundreds of dollars. For example, an off-center strike quarter recently sold for $150, and a double die obverse coin fetched $250. So while a standard 1980D Washington quarter in dirty condition isn't likely to make you rich, don't underestimate the value of errors or unique features. Always double-check your coins. You never know when you might strike gold. Next up, we're exploring a 1969 Washington quarter dollar, no mint mark, in good condition. We're talking about its value in today's auction market. So if you've got one of these in your collection, stick. The 1969 Washington quarter was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, just like other quarters from 1965 onward. This means it's not made of silver, but it still holds value among collectors for a few key reasons. Now, no mint mark means that this particular coin was minted in Philadelphia, as Philadelphia mint marks were typically left off coins after 1964, which makes this a pretty standard issue coin in terms of. But what about the condition? Coins in good condition usually show visible wear but still have readable details. In this case, you can see George Washington's features, but they're a little softened due to circulation. The eagle on the reverse also has its details, but they might not be as sharp as a coin in higher. So, what's the auction market value of a 1969 Washington quarter in good condition in today's market? These coins typically sell for anywhere between $50 to $60, not bad for a coin that's over 50 years old. At major coin auctions, you might find that a 1969 Washington quarter in good condition can fetch around $64 on average, but some might go for a little higher, depending on the auction house and the demand for the coin at the time. But let's get one thing straight, this quarter won't make you rich. If you've got a well-worn, standard 1969 Washington quarter, it's worth its value due to its age, but it won't be a high-ticket item. Coins with higher grades or special errors will be your real moneymakers. However, if you come across a higher grade 1969 quarter, let's say, are almost uncirculated, or even Emma's mint state, you could see values closer to $70 to $80. Coins like these have sharper details and less wear, which makes them far more desirable to collectors. So how can you determine if your 1969 Washington quarter has any special value? Look out for errors or varieties. For example, double die errors or coins with off-center strikes might increase a coin's value significantly even if it's in a lower condition. Error coins, like a double die reverse or striking errors, could push the value up to $100 or even higher, even for a 1969 quarter in less than perfect condition. So if you've got a 1969 Washington quarter in good condition, don't throw it away. It might not be worth a fortune, but it still has its place in the world of coin collecting. And remember, always look for those special errors that can increase a coin's value. Who knows, your quarter could be worth more than you think. Next up, the 1989 Washington quarter with the P mint mark, specifically in fine condition. What's its value in today's auction market? Stick around to find. The 1989 Washington quarter was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins with the P mint mark were minted in Philadelphia, and over 512 million of these were produced that year. So, this is a very common coin, making its rarity dependent on condition or errors. Let's talk about condition. A coin in fine condition shows noticeable wear but retains most of its major details. For example, on this 1989 quarter, George Washington's portrait will have smoothed out high points, but the key details are still visible. The reverse eagle design will also show some wear but remain recognizable. So, what's the value of a 1989 P Washington quarter in fine condition in today's auction market? Because it's a common coin, its value typically stays close to face value 25 cents. However, certain collectors or bulk buyers might pay a small premium, pushing its value up to 30 cents to 50. At auctions, coins like this don't attract a lot of attention unless they have unique characteristics, such as errors or an unusually high grade. In fine condition, it's a modest coin, but let's explore what could make this quarter worth more. To increase value, you'll want to look for errors or varieties. For example, a double die error on the date or lettering, an off-center strike, or a clipped planchet could significantly boost the coin's auction price, sometimes to $50. So how do you spot these potential jackpot coins? Always inspect your quarters under good lighting and magnification. Look for irregularities in the lettering, mint mark, or overall strike of the coin. Even minor errors can make a huge difference in value. Now, let's compare. A 1989 P quarter in very fine condition could fetch around $1, and in mint state MEX 65 or higher, the value jumps to $15 to $25. These higher grade coins are far more desirable to collectors. The bottom line is this: a 1989 P Washington quarter in fine condition is generally worth around its face value 25 cents, unless it has an error or is in a higher grade. But don't dismiss it just yet. Always check your coins for potential rarities. You never know when you might have something special. If you've got a 1989 Washington quarter in your collection, let me know in the comments. Have you ever found a rare error or high grade? Next up, we're focusing on the 1974 Washington quarter no mint mark in extra fine condition. How much can you expect it to sell for at today's auction? Stick around to find out. The 1974 Washington quarter is part of the series struck after the US stopped using silver in most circulating coins. This coin is made of copper nickel clad with a composition of 75 copper and 25 nickel, and, like all Washington quarters from this era, it's not made of silver, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Now, this coin was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it doesn't have a mint mark, unlike quarters minted in Denver or San Francisco. Over 500 million of these coins were produced, so it's pretty common, but extra fine condition sets it up. Coins in extra fine condition typically have light wear, but still show nearly full detail. For this 1974 Washington quarter, you can still clearly see the details in George Washington's portrait, and the eagle on the reverse retains almost all of its feather details. The coin will have some signs of wear, especially on the high points like the cheek and hair, but it's still in great shape. So, what is the value of this coin in extra fine condition in today's auction market? Typically, a 1974 Washington quarter in extra fine condition will sell for around $5 to $10. It's not a high-value coin, but it's certainly worth more than its face value of 25 cents. At auctions, you might see it go for a little more depending on the demand and the auction house. Coins in better-than-average condition will always be more attractive to collectors, and you might even find collectors interested in acquiring multiple coins like these in similar condition. But here's something important to keep in mind. If your 1974 quarter has any errors, like a double die or off-center strike, its value can be much higher, sometimes even reaching $50 or more. These kinds of errors are rare and desirable for collectors, so always check your coins. Some of the most valuable Washington quarters with errors include things like a double die obverse, which can make the date or letters appear doubled, or off-center strikes, where the design isn't properly aligned. These types of coins can fetch much higher prices, even in lower grades. Now, back to the regular 1974 Washington quarter in extra fine condition. As we mentioned earlier, it's worth around $5 to $10. However, if you have a quarter in higher grades, like Mint State MS60, or higher, it could be worth $20 or more. Just like with any coin, the higher the grade, the higher the value. A Mint State 1974 Washington quarter with sharp, uncirculated details can fetch $25 to $30 at auction. But for extra fine coins like this one, the market tends to hover around that $5 to $10 range. So, the 1974 Washington quarter in extra fine condition might not make you a fortune, but it's still a great coin to have in your collection. And remember, condition is key. If you find one with an error or a higher grade, its value could increase significantly. Keep an eye out and always check for those special coins. Next up, we're diving into a 1968 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark, featuring a large date and a distinct black color shade. But here's the catch. It's in bad condition. What's it worth at auctions? Let's find out. The 1968 Washington quarter was struck in Denver, marked by the D Mint mark, located just below the wreath on the reverse. This coin is part of the copper-nickel clad series, meaning it doesn't contain any silver. Over 101 million of these were produced in Denver that year, making it a relatively common coin. Now, let's talk about bad condition. A coin in bad condition will have significant wear, scratches, and discoloration like this one with its black shade, possibly caused by environmental exposure or chemical reactions over time. The details on George Washington's face and the eagle on the reverse are heavily worn, making it less desirable for most collectors. So what's the value of a 1968 D Washington quarter in this condition? Unfortunately, coins in bad condition like this typically only hold their face value 25 cents. Collectors prioritize coins in better grades or with unique features, which this coin does. Even at auctions, a 1968 D Washington quarter in bad condition won't fetch much unless there's something special about it, like a rare error or variety. Without those, it's mostly valued for its role in completing sets or for its historical significance. But here's the thing, if you come across a 1968 D Washington quarter with an error, such as a double die obverse, a striking misalignment, or a clipped planchet, its value can increase dramatically. These rare coins are highly sought after by collectors and can sell for $50 to $500 or more, even in lower grades. Always inspect your coins carefully. Look for irregularities in the mint mark, doubling on the date or lettering, or signs of an unusual strike. Even in bad condition, an error coin can be a hidden treasure. To give you some perspective, a 1968 D Washington quarter in fine condition is valued at around $1 to $2, while a coin in mint state MS65 can fetch $25 to $50 or more. But in bad condition, like this one, its value is usually limited to face value, 25 cents. The bottom line is a 1968 D Washington quarter in bad condition, even with its unique black shade, doesn't hold much value unless it has an error or variety. But it's still a piece of history and a great conversation starter for coin enthusiasts. Next up, the 1980 Washington quarter large date P Mint mark in very fine condition. How much can you expect it to sell for at an auction today? Let's dive in and find. The 1980 Washington quarter is part of the copper-nickel clad series that replaced silver in regular circulation. The P Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and 1980 saw a mintage of over 600 million Washington quarters. Now let's focus on the very fine condition. A coin in this grade shows some wear, but the key features are still easily identifiable. On the 1980 Washington quarter, you'll notice some flattening on Washington's cheek, hair, and the eagle's wings, but the design remains clear and crisp. A very fine coin will have moderate wear, but details on the face, such as the hair and beard, are still well defined. The reverse, with the eagle and olive branch, also shows wear, but the eagle's feathers remain discernible. In terms of coin grading, very fine condition means the coin shows some wear but maintains most of its original details. This is a good middle ground for collectors looking for quality without needing a perfect. So, what's the value of this 1980 Washington quarter in very fine condition at auction? Typically, you can expect it to fetch around $3 to $5. It's a modest value coin, given its relatively high mintage and the fact that it's not a rare issue. However, it's still worth more than its face value of 25 cents. Now, if you come across a 1980 Washington quarter in higher grades, like Mint State MS63 or higher, its value can jump to $10 to $15 or more. But in very fine condition, like this one, it's valued at around $3 to $5. Not a huge amount, but it's still a nice coin for collectors. As you can see from this comparison, a Mint State coin in pristine condition can be worth much more than one in a lower grade. But the very fine grade still holds solid value, especially if it's in good shape like this one. While the 1980 Washington quarter in very fine condition isn't a rare find, it's still a great piece to have in your collection. If you're a Washington quarter collector, having coins from various years and grades adds diversity to your set. And here's a pro tip. Always check for errors or varieties. If you find any unusual minting mistakes, like a double die or an off-center strike, the value could go up significantly. Error coins can be worth much more than the standard issue, even in lower grade. Some of the more valuable error coins include things like a double die on the date or lettering, or a struck-through error where foreign material got in the press during minting. These kinds of coins can sell for hundreds of dollars, even in lower conditions. So, if you have a 1980 Washington quarter in very fine condition, you can expect it to sell for $3 to $5 at auction. While it's not a high-value coin, it's a nice addition to your collection, especially if you're building a set of Washington quarters or looking to complete your 1980s collection. Thanks for watching. If you have a 1980 Washington quarter or any other coins you'd like to know more about, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for more coin tips and market insights. Until next time, happy collecting.